Sheikhs, the second verse of Surah Al-Insan stated that, "For indeed we alone created humans from a drop of mixed fluids in order to test them, so we made them hear and see." So some Muslims interpret this as a reference to the development of hearing and vision in the womb, since babies start hearing around 18 weeks and their vision develops later by around 30 weeks in the womb. They say the verse reflects this chronological order. So, Sheikh, I was wondering, is this commentary acceptable and is it permissible to interpret Quranic verses in this way based on our intellect and scientific understanding?
Fahim, I think I got your question, but it is not really clear because your voice is still breaking up. So you're referring to the verse of Surah An-Nisa, where it talks about the development of the embryo in the womb, right?
Yes, Sheikh. I mean the chronological order, hear and see.
Okay. Again. Fahim.
Sorry, Sheikh.
Yes, go ahead. Say your question again, please.
Yeah. So, since this verse stated this, so some Muslims interpret this as a reference to the development of hearing and vision in the womb, since babies start hearing around 18 weeks and their vision develops later, maybe around 30 weeks in the womb. They say this verse reflects this chronological order. So, Sheikh, I was wondering, is this commentary acceptable and is it permissible to interpret Quranic verses in this way? I mean, based on our intellect and scientific understanding.
Got your question. I think maybe he mistakenly mentioned Surah An-Nisa, and obviously the ayah is of Surah Al-Insan, the second verse. إِنَّا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ نَبْتَلِيهِ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. Surah Al-Insan, or the humankind, the human being, is an amazing surah, and Rasulullah, peace be upon him, used to recite in Salatul Fajr on Jumu'ah. The first he would recite Surah Al-Sajdah, first rak'ah, and the second rak'ah, Surah Al-Insan. It talks about the development of the human being and for what purpose, the objective of life. And then it talks about the fate of the believers in the hereafter, and so on. And the miraculous nature of sending the Prophet ﷺ and giving him the revelation as means of guidance and so on. So the second ayah, إِنَّا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ. Most certainly we, Allah is using the royal we, خَلَقْنَا, created, al-insana, the human being, me and Donald Trump and George W. Bush and Hassan ibn Thabit, all human beings were created the same way. Min nutfatin, from nutfa. What is nutfa? The word nutfa is mentioned in Surah Al-Hajj, in Surah Al-Mu'minun, and in many places where Allah speaks about the different stages of the creation, especially ayah number 5, Surah Al-Hajj, chapter number 22. يا أيها الناس إن كنتم في ريب من البعث فإنا خلقناكم من تراب ثم من نطفة. All human beings are created from nutfa. What is nutfa? A nutfa is the sexual discharge of both the male and the female when they are mixed together and they settle in the womb. That's called the zygote, the sperm and the fertilized egg of the woman. So this is the stage of a nutfa. Min nutfatin amshaj, the word amshaj, mixed, the mixture of the male and the female sexual discharge. Allah is telling us in brief, this whole process takes place, and then the Almighty Allah equips the fetus with the ability to hear, to see. فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا. It doesn't say at what stage, but it tells us at one point this fetus, who now is just a zygote, will become a hanging blood clot, alaqa. Then the next stage for another 40 days, morsel of flesh. Then فَكَسَوْنَا الْعِظَامَ لَحْمًا. Then the morsel of flesh, Allah will put bones in it, then will cover it with flesh, then will make him into, or develop him into, a totally new creation and breathe the soul into him. This whole process and equipping the human being in the different stages with different development, and finally giving him the ability to hear and to see, in order to do what? In order to do what? إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه, in order to try him, to test him. So in order to be able to take the test, he's got to be able to hear, able to see, able to comprehend. This is the meaning of the ayah. The following ayah is إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. And most certainly we have guided him to the path. We showed him what is right and what is wrong. And now it is his call. So the ayah which you refer to, ayah number 2 of Surah Al-Insan, does not necessarily speak about the order and at what stage that the embryo is able to see or hear. Rather, Allah is telling us that He did not create a human being who is deaf, dumb, and blind. No, He equipped them with the faculties of senses in order to be able to comprehend the test. Then He showed him, هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ, through the revelations, through sending the messengers, through pondering over the open universal book, and so on. The ayah does not conflict science, does not say at what stage Allah created the sight and the hearing in the embryo. Rather, it only says that Allah enabled the human being to be able to see, to be able to hear, so that he will comprehend the message. Thank you.